I'm gonna be playing a little bit of the song so that we can kind of just have a little Swiftie time, you know what I mean? And then talking about books. This is my favorite video of all time, yeah. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video. Hello shawty baes, hello besties. I am here as a Swiftie and a Swiftie only. If you are not a Swiftie, exit stage left. I don't know if the camera is gonna flip and then I'm gonna be pointing the wrong way. Let's try again. Exit stage left. Shawty baes, I am so excited for today's video because I am going to be giving you book recs based on your favorite song off Midnight's, Taylor's new album. I'm only doing the regular version. I'm not doing the 3 a.m. version, but if you guys want to see more and if you like this, I can do the 3 a.m. version, and I can also do different parts because, let's be honest, most of these songs, actually all of these songs, go for so many different books, TV shows, movies. These are just the first books that came to mind. These are the books that right when I heard the song, I thought of them, but I can deeply look into it and come up with many, many more. Just let me know if you want to see more parts of this and I will do it. Also, I am at my family's house for the week, so therefore I don't have any of my books. So I will just be putting a picture of the book right here since I do not have it in my hands. Got it? Okay, let's do it. So obviously I'm gonna go in order. So first up, Lavender Haze. I've been under scrutiny, yeah, oh yeah. You handle it beautifully. So the book I have for this song is Delilah Green Doesn't Care. Now listen, I didn't just pick this because the cover is purple, although that did play a little part into it. Listen, the whole book is kind of like Delilah goes through so much and she moves away from this horrible town where people just constantly talk shit about her, and then she comes back for her sister's wedding and falls for her sister's best friend, who she's known her whole life. And the lyrics that really got me for this book specifically is like her being under scrutiny and like people just constantly talking shit about her, but then the person she's with handling it so well and not really caring about what anybody has to say because she knows her to her core. And that's Claire and Delilah, literally. Especially because also their relationship starts off with them not wanting to tell anyone. They kind of just want to stay in this bubble of happiness that they're in, and that reminds me a lot of Lavender Haze, of like, I just want to stay in this haze of beautifulness that we have going on. I don't want anybody to have anything to say about this. I don't want anybody to break this up. I love this book. If you haven't read Delilah Green Doesn't Care, please do. It is literally opposites attract. It's single mom. It's childhood frenemies to lovers, kind of. It's sapphic. It's small town. It is everything you would want in a book and more. I loved it so much, and there are more books coming in the series as well, but this book for Lavender Haze, 1000%. Next we have one of the best songs on the album, Maroon. Now the book I have for Maroon is Before We Were Strangers. This one was really a no-brainer for me because all the lyrics reminded me of Before We Were Strangers. When Taylor says like, you know, I chose you in New York, this book is set in New York, and like, you were my closest friend, we got to know each other. That's exactly what happens in Before We Were Strangers. They meet in college and they become best friends, and they kind of just live this amazing life in New York together in their college years, and that reminded me a lot of Maroon. And then they get separated and they meet again years later, which really reminds me of the lyrics like, how did we lose who we were? How did we lose what we had? And even the rest of the lyrics in the song remind me of this book as well, because like the vinyl and dancing together with no shoes, all of that happens Before We Were Strangers. Like, he is a photographer and they're constantly like taking pictures and dancing together and playing music, and they really connect, which I felt like showed really well in Maroon. If you love this song, I can almost guarantee you're gonna love this book. I adore this book with everything in me. Would highly recommend. Next I have one of my favorite songs off the album, and that is Anti-Hero. I should not be left to my own devices. It's me, I'm the problem, it's me, always rooting for the anti-hero. I don't think this is gonna surprise anyone, but this entire song reminds me of Lilo. So the Addicted series, all the lyrics remind me of them. I can't even pinpoint exactly which ones, but just in general, when you first start reading the Addicted series, you see that Lily and Lo really are struggling. In general, they're definitely the anti-heroes that you cheer so hard for, like them saying, it's me, hi, I'm the problem. Like at tea time, everybody agrees. I feel like everybody's gonna leave because they're gonna get tired of my scheming. And in addicted, they lied to everyone around them, and you know, everybody had the right to be upset at them because they were constantly lying and they never let anybody in. They only let each other in. So I feel like this song talks a lot about that, of like people leaving your life and then you realize that you were the issue. I'm gonna cry. And also, like, midnights become my afternoons. They would just be dealing with their addictions because he was an alcoholic and she was a sex addict, so they were constantly up all night dealing with this. And I feel like this song just talks about how you root for them so bad, and it's exhausting to be the anti-hero, but you want to see them overcome that. Lilo, literally this song is Lilo, and I will stand by them forever until the end of time. It's not exhausting rooting for the anti-hero. I'll do it. I will do it all day. Next I have Snow on the Beach.
And it's like snow at the beach. You wanted me, feels impossible. Snow on the beach.
Now for this one, I am saying From Lukov with Love, but also every single MZ book I feel like ties in with Snow on the Beach. It just reminded me of From Lukov with Love immediately, but also Wall of Winnipeg, Wait for It, Luna and the Lie, just every single one really gives Snow on the Beach vibes, because let me explain myself. I feel like with MZ books, you get such big slow burns and you get to see the characters falling for each other really, really slowly, and then both of them admit their feelings at the same time. And I feel like that's what Snow on the Beach is kind of talking about, just you being in love with somebody and somebody being in love with you that same way back at the same time. And it's such a weird fucking crazy thing, like Snow on the Beach. And I think all of MZ's books are kind of like this. They remind me of this vibe. So From Lukov with Love, Wall of Winnipeg and Me, Wait for It, Cold Tea, Under Lock, Luna and the Lie, All Roads Lead Here, literally every single one reminds me of Snow on the Beach. Now I have You're on Your Own, Kid, one of the best songs in the album also. Me to every single song on the album.
He's gonna notice me. We're the best of friends. You're on your own, kid. You always have been.
Now the book I have for You're on Your Own, Kid, I feel very deeply about. I will take no arguments. That is Hot House Flower. It's part of the Calloway Sisters series. Daisy is You're on Your Own, Kid, 1000%. Just in general, talking about being by yourself and just kind of going through this alone, and how nobody has your back and you're kind of getting thrown around by the industry and by people, and that's what happens with Daisy. The song saying like, I play it cool, he's gonna notice me, we're the best of friends, because Reich was the only person that was really there for her at first, and she was like, he's gonna notice me, but they were just best friends. The song talks about being tired of this town and wanting to leave, but there's one person that could make them stay, and that I feel like was Reich for Daisy. And just the lyrics like, I gave my blood, sweat, and tears for this, I hosted parties, I starved my body, and then I noticed nobody ever fucking cared. And I think that that's Daisy talking to Samantha, especially at the end of the song when it says, so make the friendship bracelets, like do everything you want to do, you're on your own, don't be afraid. Daisy finding herself. You're on Your Own, Kid, Daisy Calloway's anthem. Next I have my top song of the album so far, and that is Midnight Rain.
He was sunshine, I was midnight rain. Well, I wanted that pain. He wanted a bride, he stayed the same. Midnight.
Y'all, without telling you too much because I don't want to spoil anything, this song is The Summer I Turned Pretty with Jeremiah, Conrad, and Belly. I don't want to talk too much about this one because I don't want to spoil anything for you. Just know that it reminds me of The Summer I Turned Pretty verbatim. I just can't go too deeply into it without spoiling it. But let me just say that it also gives me the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo vibes as well, in a completely different way than The Summer I Turned Pretty, because I feel like Taylor's songs, you can interpret them in many, many different ways. And in one way, I could see it as The Summer I Turned Pretty, but I could also see it as Seven Husbands, because Evelyn constantly just didn't want to be comfortable. She wanted the fame. She wanted to make her own name. She didn't want to be just somebody's wife, and I think that this song talks a lot about that, like wanting the pain, wanting to, you know, make your name. And even like, you know, They Don't See Me Anymore, just only on TV. You guys know the scene of chipping tooth in The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo if you read the book. So it really reminds me of that as well, but also The Summer I Turned Pretty. So I would say both of these. Also for my Gilmore Girls fans, it reminds me of Logan and Rory. Next up we have Question, ... question mark.
Big city, wrong choices, one thing after another. Miscommunications, and did you leave a house in the middle of the night? You wish you'd put up more of a fight. It's just a question.
I feel feel very strongly about this one, okay? It is Magnolia Parks. This song screams Magnolia and BJ. Let me explain myself, okay? Good girl, sad boy, big cities, wrong choices. Are you fucking kidding me? And Taylor's saying, I don't remember who I was before you painted all of my nights a color I've been searching for since. I feel like Parks and BJ really became who they are because of each other, and they did try to find that in other people, but they never could. And then one fucking thing after another, situations, different mistakes, miscommunication, heavy on that. The entire chorus of like, I need some explanations. If you guys have read Magnolia Parks, you know that Parks was constantly looking for an explanation and saying like, can I ask you a question? Did you ever kiss someone in a crowded room? And all your friends would make fun of you, but then they would clap. Their entire friend group is so close, and they always wanted Parks and Beach to work shit out. So they would make fun of them for being how they were, but at the end of the day, they would all ride or die for them, and they all wanted them together. And then, did you leave her house in the middle of the night? Did you wish you put up more of a fight? I feel like that's the exact situation that happens in that book. Just in general, this entire song really screams Parks and Beach for me. I love them so much. If you haven't read the Magnolia Parks universe yet, and if you love Question, read it. Now for my reputation stands out there, we have vigilante shit.
You did some bad things, but I'm the worst of them. Don't get sad, get even. Lately I've been dressing for revenge.
I have no words about this fucking song besides Lana Myers. The Mindfuck series, it screams her. 1000% the song was written for Lana Myers and Lana Myers only. But let me just say that after I thought of Lana, someone else came to mind immediately after, and that is Six of Crows, Kaz Brecker. If it's not her, it's him. These two people scream vigilante shit. It also really reminds me of Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders. I'm watching Peaky Blinders right now, and I'm on season 4, and I'm just so obsessed with Thomas Shelby, and I feel like it also reminds me of him. Why? Because we fucking can. Because we fucking can. And if we can, we will. Next we have a fun bop, Bejeweled.
Best believe I'm still bejeweled. I can still make the holes, they shimmer. And when I meet the band, they don't remember. I polish up real nice.
Now, Bejeweled, don't get me wrong. This book also reminds me of another song in the album, but that's part of the 3 a.m. edition, so I'm gonna put it for this one instead. Bejeweled reminds me of Daisy Jones and the Six. Daisy is definitely like talking to Billy in Bejeweled, like saying like, you best believe that I didn't even fucking notice you walking around my peace of mind and you fucking shit up, but I'm still bejeweled, I'm still shining, bitch. And also saying like, don't put me in the basement when I want the penthouse to your heart. And saying like, you know what, I still fucking shine, even if I don't have you, even if you don't put me first. I still walk into a room and the whole fucking place shines. When I meet the band, they ask me, do you have a man? And I can still say I don't remember. Like, this entire song really gives me Daisy vibes. I adore her. But let me just say I love Camilla. I will take no Camilla hatred. Next we have the sad bop that is Labyrinth.
Only hurts this much. I've been getting over you my whole life. Oh no, I'm falling in love again.
This song reminds me so much of Say You Swear, because this is a love triangle, and I think that in this song you have different parts of like you thinking you're getting over somebody, but you're never going to. You're going to be getting over them your whole life. But then a plane being turned around, like I thought it was going down, but you turned it around. I thought I would never get over this, but here you are making it all better. And I think that that's a lot of what happens in Say You Swear. I don't want to tell you any details because it'll spoil everything. I love this book so much. I sobbed, but in the best way. In the best way. If you want to sob in the best way, Say You Swear. Now, since we like had a sad bop, why don't we get happy again with Karma?
Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a god. The breeze in my hair on the weekend. Aren't you envious that for you it's not? Karma is a cat. Me and Karma vibe like that.
Now, don't get me wrong. Connor Cobalt does give Mastermind vibes, okay? But hear me out. Kabbalaway is Karma. In Kiss the Sky and in Feel the Fire, everything they do to fight the people that are trying to bring them down, and the fact that they do get the karma, unbelievable. People constantly trying to bring Kabbalaway down and them just rising above and always fighting it together. So the lyrics like, karma is my boyfriend, karma is a god. Connor Cobalt, we all know he thinks he's a god. We all know the narcissist in him. Karma is the fucking breeze on my hair, because we know Rose has amazing hair. It's not. Karma is a cat purring in my lap because it loves me. We know Connor's cat. Everything Kabbalaway went through to fight the people that were trying to bring them down, it's karma. It's Karma. Now we've got Sweet Nothing.
I spy with my little tired eye. I wrote a poem, you say what am I? This happens all the time. Sweet nothing.
Now I have two books that really remind me of this song, and that is Beach Read and Love in Other Words. Both of them combined, I would say, is this song. Like specifically the line, on the way home I wrote a poem, you say what am I? It happens all the time. I think that really gives off Beach Read vibes of the way Gus sees January and the fact that he thinks her mind is so amazing and powerful and everything she does is just fantastic to him. And then Love in Other Words in the sense of like the beginning of the song, the pebbles that you put in your pocket, and do we still remember it? Is it still there? Just gives off everything that Love in Other Words is, the fact that they spent summers together and then they only saw each other years later. And then for both of them, the Sweet Nothing chorus and just being like, you know, there's so much happening around us, but I find solace in you, and you don't expect me to be this person that everybody else sees. You just expect nothing from me. You expect me to just be myself, and you know that I'm soft to my core, and you know me and who I am, and you love me for that. And I think that really reminds me of how Elliot is with Macy and how Gus is with January for sure. And just the fact that the song is so soft and sweet and homey really reminds me of these books, because Beach Read and Love in Other Words are so comfy, even though they deal with deep topics and there are, you know, important things in these books. They're still such comforting books and beautiful, and the way they're written is so amazing. And I think that really reminds me of the Sweet Nothing vibes. I don't know how to explain that, but I feel like you know what I mean. And lastly, we have Mastermind.
Checkmate, I couldn't lose. None of it was accidental. Nothing was gonna stop me. Laid the groundwork, dominoes cascaded in a line. I'm a mastermind.
Now I have two books for this song for completely different reasons. The first one I have is Twisted Lies, and that is for the obvious reason that Christian is a fucking mastermind. He was not gonna let anything stop him from being with Stella. And the other one I have is not at all because of the meaning of the song, but just because of the words Taylor used. It reminded me of the Inheritance games, like the darkness of the song, having checkmate, having dominoes, saying that all the pieces came together. Jameson, Avery, Grayson, the entire family, and everything coming together by the end. All of that gave me Inheritance games vibes, but not because of the meaning of the song, just because of the wordings that Taylor used and the vibes. Like the meaning of the song is Twisted Lies. The vibes for me was Inheritance games. Hold on, Shawty Baes, before you leave, let me talk to you about Squarespace. Squarespace is basically an online platform where you can create your own website. And with this platform, you can connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated members only content. You can manage your members, leverage audience insights, and send email communications. And with Squarespace, you basically create your own community where you can show likes, replies, shares, and you can also connect it to your own social media profiles and display posts from there as well. And you have amazing extensions where you can streamline bookkeeping, manage inventory, and promote products. You can also file sales tax and ship across the globe. So if all of that sounds fun to you, Shawty Baes, you can go to squarespace.com to start your free trial, and when you are ready to launch, you can use my code for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Okay, I love you. So that is all, Shawty Baes. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was one of my favorite videos to film because I am a Swiftie to my core, and it's really fun bringing other sides of me to this account because, you know, this is all about reading and the books that I love and stuff, but I also enjoy talking about other things that I love, like TV shows and movies and songs, because I'm obsessed with all of those things. So let me know if you like this kind of video, and if you want to see more, give me some other ideas. I'm also obsessed with Harry. I could do some, you know, Harry songs as books or other Taylor songs as books, just like a more general video, not just Midnights. I don't know. Let me know if you want to see any more. Let me know what you want to see, and I will get to. Also, do we love my shirt? Yes or no? We have to love it. Okay, I love you. Bye.